gonna have to step out if I get one particular call.
Well, we still have a quorum. All right, I think it's close to 8, isn't it?
You're live.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Rolling Hills Traffic Commission meeting for November 24th. Could I have a roll call, please?
Sure. Commissioner Rain?
Here?
Commissioner Virtue?
Here.
Commissioner Varner?
Here.
Commissioner Bobbitt?
Here.
And Chair Wilson.
Here. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Hand over your heart. Ready to begin?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'd like to thank Commissioner Rain for the confusing calendar invite for 8 o'clock this morning. And
Oh, yeah, I noticed, I had to look it up on here too. I thought, is it 8?
I thought it was at 8. I've been here since 7:55.
I don't know how to undo a calendar invite, so
there's
never
actually,
mind.
Kristen said, "Oh, you're early." I thought 5 minutes early. Yeah, I'm early.
there's actually a delete up in the left-hand
Oh,
corner.
is there?
Yeah,
Yeah.
You can find it. I know you can.
I'll never send out an invite again, so I'll never have to delete one.
Okay, could I get an approval for the order of the, could I get a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
Second.
Second?
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Blue folder items, there was none.
None today.
Okay. Public comment? Good with public comment? Consent calendar, could I get a motion to approve the consent calendar?
Motion to approve the consent calendar.
Excellent. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. All in favor, please say aye.
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 This is tough stuff, Bill.
No excluded consent calendar presentation. We're all the way up to the sheriff's department. Come up.
Not about it, down speeders.
Saw that. Residents, I guess.
All right, good morning.
Morning.
So for the month of September, there was no supplemental traffic done, but for the month of October, there was the 6 citations for speed. Non-resident cited was 5, and 1 resident was cited. And then if you look, the other citations that we have, outside of the supplemental, there was a total number of citations was 26.
And I had a question about the the non-hazardous. What is an example of that?
So the difference between hazardous and non-hazardous, a hazardous site is like a moving violation, so speed, stop signs. Non-hazardous would be registration. That's the majority of the non-hazardous that you would see, something that's just not a moving violation. So whether it's registration, seatbelt would still be considered hazardous, just because in case if someone were to get in an accident, that would prevent them. So it's only, you'd probably see is the expired registration.
Okay.
Yeah, 4 DUI arrests, it looks like.
What?
Am I reading that right?
No.
Oh, no. Okay. I was looking sideline. Oh, sideways. Okay. Good. I'm glad to hear that.
0 is better than,
Yes.
Okay, any other questions of our deputy? Seems like a pretty quiet 2-month period.
Yeah, nobody over 50 miles an hour. That's good.
No arrests.
Yeah.
All right.
On your way out, I'd like to report a big Ford truck is parked just a little bit over the line where it should be. If you would drop a sight on his windshield.
Sounds good.
I wanted to thank him for all of this that we
Yeah.
get. That's quite interesting. And I appreciate it, having that.
Not a problem. I believe that the new sergeant that we have, Sergeant Kwan, is familiarizing himself with all the different stuff, so you'll be able to get more access to that kind of stuff, because we're stabilizing all the movement at the station right now. So
What's his name?
Sergeant Kwan, KWON. Yeah.
Have a great Thanksgiving. Thank you.
Yeah, happy Thanksgiving.
Discuss-
Now what?
Oh, do we need to receive and file? Yeah. Is there a
Yes.
motion to receive and file the report? I have to do it myself. I move to receive and file the report. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor, please say aye. Thank you. Okay, discussion items.
None today.
Matters from members of the Traffic Commission.
So I will,
Thank you,
in
Bill.
order to say something here, I'll just observe, and for the deputy also, that as a regular dog walker along Crest Road, the speeding is still pretty bad. You know, I think, I know there are cars doing 50, 55 miles an hour, some of them literally just racing by. And some of them don't move when they see people or a dog. You know, many people will go out to the center of the road a little bit. And especially now, there seem to be 3 older gentlemen. Last couple of months, there were only 2 who walk in the road. And, you know, there's no way they could move out of the way of a 50-mile-an-hour car. So I know we brought it up last time, but it's just a comment. You know, I'm walking on Crest Road. I don't think a day goes by without walking on Crest Road at least once, maybe twice, near the fire station, near the Quail Ridge intersection.
Yes, and, you know, that comment has come up more regularly than any other comment in the 15 or so years that I've been on this commission, so I get it. I'm out there as well, out there every weekend, sometimes during the week as well. And I see the same thing, and it's pretty shocking sometimes.
Yeah, just hoping, you know, nobody gets hit or hurt or.
That's why I brought up painting the speed limit in certain places along the road to bring it to people's attention a little bit more than
Right.
the one sign we have, or the few signs we have here and there.
Right.
And I missed the last meeting, but I was glad to see you guys talked about it, and apparently it's out for study at this point, if I remember what I read in here.
Yeah, actually, could you remind me where we're at with that?
Yeah, I was gonna do it under matters from staff, so.
Okay, we're gonna actually have something, great, okay.
But I'm with you on that, Bill.
Yeah, and I think the last time we decided, I sort of mentioned this idea of the, the police signs that say, you know, speed limit 30, your speed 45, and the reaction was sort of, this is not a community that wants any more signs. So I understand that, but those things tend to be pretty effective. You know, they put them on the other part of Crest Road periodically.
And who actually,
Going down into Mirrorless, there's one.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
who manages those? I mean, is that a city thing?
Are you talking about like the electronic signage? So typically that's managed by either a local police department or in this case, the sheriff's department, if they even have those. And then usually they get rotated around communities or hot points. They use them for both speed, they use them for coyote warning, whatever, you know, but they are an expensive thing.
They are what?
They're expensive.
Expensive.
Yeah, yeah. You know, if that was ever something that, say, the commission thought might be an interesting idea to recommend that a council, you know, we could look at that and I think we would have to do it in collaboration with the RHCA because city staff doesn't have the ability to move something like that around, and then do it in coordination, maybe even with the sheriff's department.
So we might as well
The lights
get it out there. I'm sorry.
Showing the speed, we've had that here from time to time up on Crest and all.
Really?
The sheriff brought in to tell you what your speed is. But our problem was the blinking lights and the horses and where can you put it, that it's safe with our trails. But we have had in the past where I guess the sheriff, we shared it with somebody.
Got it.
And they did bring it in. But I don't know if it was other places, but I know they had it up on Crest.
Well, that's why I brought up the paint on the
Yeah.
pavement, because it was like the next step, and then without going
Well,
as far
and-
as putting up more signs and more flashing lights or something like that, but.
Yeah.
Too, what, with Vanessa, what we've said is, when it's a permanent thing, after a while, people don't see it. But when you move it and you don't know where it's going to be, maybe they pay more attention. But I think there's that problem of when you see something after a while, maybe it doesn't register as much. It's just human nature. So, anyway, but we did have that, and I don't know whether, I don't recall we had to pay extra for it, but I think it was something that maybe they had available, and it might not be. I mean, if it breaks and they don't have money to fix it, you know how that is. So, but anyway, that was something that we did do, not on an all-time basis, but a few times.
When we did a field trip up to Hidden Hills a couple of years ago, when we had some security issues in town here with break-ins, we noticed that they have one of those signs you're talking about up there in Hidden Hills. They have it on their own. And kind of what's interesting is that they somehow capture license plates when somebody is speeding more than like 10 miles over the limit. You can adjust that. And then they send a note out to the resident or whoever it is that's driving, like, you're speeding and,
Right.
you do it another time and they do something to slap their wrists. It's just, something they have up there. It's
And
interesting, but-
that's a static sign, not a moving sign. It's just stationary
Yes.
with, yeah.
But Vieta does bring up a point about where there is a path, a DG path to walk on, that's probably, the sign is probably as wide as that path, which means,
It's not that big,
no?
but I
You
can't
really
recall
walk
now.
around it on the DG?
I might be able to look it up on my phone. I think I took a picture of it at the time. It was interesting, but I mentioned it to the community association. Of course,
Well, that's-
nobody wants any of that kind of
That's,
stuff here.
that's what I wanted to find out.
Yeah.
What would the association, how would
That's
that discussion?
too big of a step.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah.
So I have another question for the deputy, if you could come up for a second, please. So it's been a few years, probably before you were involved with our city, but at one point, for a period of time, a couple of weeks maybe, we had a sheriff's car just parked on Crest. It wasn't attended, it was just parked. And it got a lot of attention, and certainly if you were following somebody that was speeding, even if they weren't speeding, everybody taps their brakes when they see, a police car. So, it got a lot of, that kind of attention, a lot of discussion, that it was just parked there. And it doesn't do any good to leave it there for more than, some period of time. A couple weeks is probably too long in itself, but, do you have something like that still, where you have an unused car you could just park?
So we use those, we call them a decoy car. Right now, I don't believe we have any decoy cars. Our fleet is just, we're bare bones right now. That's something that we'd have to bring up to Sergeant McCoy, who's the city relations sergeant. If we're being honest, I think those are good for maybe a day or two.
Yeah.
At most, because then people just see it. It's kind of like your stationary sign that you guys are saying. They just see, it's no one's there, and they keep
I
going.
don't disagree with that, but,
Yeah.
if it's done on a periodic basis, say, even quarterly, I don't want to ask too much here, but it did generate interest and concern and discussion, when it was here. Like I said, it's probably here for too long, because it's just, of course, like you said, people just say, it's just a decoy.
Yeah, we've tried that recently with the Spirit of Halloween stores down in like the city of Alameda. And, they sent one over during that time. It was good for about an hour, and then they were still robbing the place with.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so I mean, it could be, it's worth a shot. I'll bring it up to her and
Yeah,
see
it's
what
worth
they
it,
can.
worth an ask.
Yeah, no, for sure.
'Cause I think it was only like a day, that it was there that day, or maybe half a day.
Yeah,
And then, like you say, it's not there, so then they don't know.
yeah.
That keeps you waiting.
Well, we don't want to
Today or
close your
tomorrow.
exam or your vehicle,
I'll definitely bring it up. And then to add with the mobile sign, the speed signs, RPV, I believe, has two or three. So I don't know if they'd be willing to let you guys borrow one to try it. That's something that the cities, you guys may have to ask each other. I don't know how all that works and the logistics behind that, but I do know that we do charge them at our station, and then we place them where their target areas where they want. So that's something that we do.
So you tow them around?
Yeah, so they tow them around. So they're mobile, and then they, I believe the ones on Crest, there's one on Crest, there's one on PV Drive East right before you go down the switchbacks, just past Marymount, and then there's one going down Marylest right now. So those are those 3 locations as of, I don't think they've moved there they've been there for a couple months now.
Well, is this something that you should even bring up at a?
No, not yet.
Okay.
I'm for the paint on the road, trying that out. I'm not saying we have to put them all over Rolling Hills, but in, maybe a test, I would love to see, just to see if it does anything.
Okay. Well, I think that's, unless there's other discussion, I think that's coming up next.
Yeah.
A decoy car when I was in Vantage Point before moving here, had the same problem with the burglaries that you all did, and we had it parked down along the row of houses that seemed to be most vulnerable, but they would move it every day or every night, so it was in a different position. And this was Lieutenant White, I don't know if he's still there, Mike White?
Yes.
He was helping us with that. We also parked it in a different neighborhood, actually, because that's where the crime gangs were coming from, up through the woods. And so we didn't do it for speeding, but I wouldn't say it solved the problem, but it certainly caught everybody's attention. And actually, people loved having the decoy car parked in front of their house. And we also used one of those flashing signs, they tend to be these yellow things that you tow around, speed limit is something, your speed is this. And the police have some with some new capabilities built in too, which are pretty nice.
Okay, thank you all for that. And now we will go to the answer to the burning question.
Okay, so at the last meeting, we had a very broad discussion, if you were to look back at the minutes, on a variety of topics, including paint on the pavement. And unfortunately, staff just hasn't had the chance to really do the deep dive into the requests, direction from the commission yet. So we will be working on that, hopefully, for the January meeting. At latest, the March meeting. There's a handful of different things, so I think we'll try to figure out which one we should prioritize. We'll start with the paint on the pavement, but we also clearly were given direction to reevaluate the municipal code for inconsistencies as it relates to parking and whatnot. As we get a little bit staffed up here with a new person starting today, and we have a new admin assistant who started 2 weeks ago. It might give us a little bit more space to take care of these things. With that said, we'll keep working on that, and we'll give you periodic updates, and if there is anything to share in between a meeting, just for you to have the ability to digest, we'll send that out to the commission as a whole. Yeah.
Well, I seem to remember from a couple meetings ago that Vanessa was asked to we were gonna ask Vanessa to do a little study on the paint on the roads, or something like that. I don't know if that's,
So
if she's involved or not.
She is. At the last meeting, what we presented was that regarding putting paint on the road, was that it would have to be adjacent to existing signage. Yeah, so we can't put, to your point, I think your idea was periodically just having that paint on the pavement that functions as a reminder to the driver that this is the speed limit, but it was not her recommendation because in the California Municipal Traffic Code, it is really only indicated to put that at the same place where there's already a pre-existing sign. And
We can put up more
so,
signs.
so we could put more signs up, but then we get back into the same, circular conversation about, well, do we really need more signs? Do we want more signs? Will they get approved? So I think, there's a few different things here, and even when we talked about the e-bike thing in the last meeting as well, we can do so much infrastructure-wise to try to make an impact. But at the end of the day, and, you know, the deputy might even speak to this, speeding is not only an issue here in Rolling Hills, it's an issue in every jurisdiction, and which is actually now interesting because a lot of these newer cars come with something that shows you the speed limit either on your windshield or on your dashboard. So it's right there in front of you at all the time. But, you know, I think it's a habitual issue and it's hard to correct it. So we can continue to also put things in the Blue newsletter and educate and talk about it. It's just a matter of, will people make that change themselves?
I say
So-
we blame it on COVID.
I think more people should be retired, because I noticed once I retired, I slowed my driving down a whole lot.
I will say, having just transitioned to an electric vehicle, it is really easy to drive the speed limit going down Portuguese Bend Road, because in the one pedal mode, you're just charging your car and you want to see how much you can get going downhill. So,
That's like we used to call it.
yeah.
I did the same thing. I was so wound up about how much can I charge it, you know? How much can I get out of this?
Well, I'm still happy that even trying out putting that paint, you know, the speed limit on the road by a sign, I'm still for it, you know.
And-
just that
and
maybe
so-
we can do something like that.
Yeah, what we
Just to
will
try it out.
what we're gonna come back with at the future meeting is what does that look like from a cost perspective, and I'll work with Artie and Kristen because it might make sense when the association is doing paving and striping projects to collaborate and try to find a cost benefit, you know, versus just doing a standalone project. If, you know, we get direction, not only from you, but from the council and from the association, that's, you know, an acceptable change. So we'll be working on that along with the other answers to the other reports, which are a little bit more in-depth.
Thank you.
Yeah. And with that, just from staff to the commission, happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you, Christian.
Okay, wow, that's it. Again, happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Thanks for making the short meeting this morning. Bill, sorry we don't have these burning issues for you.
Pat, you're awesome.
It'll get
You know
there.
how to run a meeting.
Adjourned.
We have next meeting?
I have January 20.
Artie, we could get that, I mean, we could have that paint kind of a little bit here and there. It wouldn't, I'm sure it wouldn't cost that much.